Welcome back to Boxverse. Today, we have exciting news. Turki Alalshikh has confirmed a 4-fight deal with pound-for-pound champion Canelo Alvarez. This includes a highly anticipated showdown between Canelo and Terence Crawford, set for September 2025. Stay tuned for more updates on this thrilling matchup.
Then Canelo here in the kingdom, this arena, in the 3rd of May, and then we have the big fight. And Canelo in September.
The deal kicks off with Canelo Alvarez facing Cuban contender William Skull on May 3rd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This fight is set to reclaim the IBF super middleweight title Alvarez lost in a prior bout.
Super fight for September. There's so many big fights coming, but the big one is, as you say, Bud Crawford, who's ringside with you, against Canelo.
Yeah.
There was a time when I thought maybe that fight wouldn't happen. You tricked
with
me.
With Real season, everything.
Next up, the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is set for September, though the venue remains unconfirmed. This marquee matchup has generated significant excitement as it pits two of boxing's top stars against each other. Crawford has confirmed the fight is in the process of being signed, and when asked about it, he was quick to affirm his readiness for the bout.
And Canelo is happening in September.
Yes, it is. It's going to be exciting for the sport of boxing.
As two of boxing's biggest names prepare to clash, fans eagerly await the official details. Eddie Hearn has weighed in on the potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, expressing his support for the larger fighter, Canelo Alvarez.
It's a fantastic fight, you know, two generational greats, two pound-for-pound greats. I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in the Madrimov fight, you saw that physically, I think he's, you know, even at 154, he's not a big 154. He's definitely not a big 160, and he's definitely not even a small one.
Hearn believes Canelo's size, power, and experience in higher weight classes will overpower Crawford, who's making a significant jump in weight. He even suggested that Canelo could stop Crawford before the fight reaches the final rounds.
But he has got unbelievable skill, and he's got a huge boxing IQ, but so has Canelo Alvarez, so I do give him the edge in that fight.
Can we see a stoppage?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, wow.
If Canelo's active in the fight, depends. He's got to get to him early. Terence will be moving his feet, and Canelo won't like that. You know, he wants you to come and...
Fans and analysts are divided on the upcoming Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight. Some believe Crawford's speed and skill could pose a serious challenge to Canelo, while others agree with Eddie Hearn that the size difference will be the deciding factor. Bob Arum, however, has made a bold statement regarding the matchup. While he acknowledges the significant size difference, Arum isn't dismissing Crawford's chances. The veteran promoter, who has worked with Crawford in the past, praised his skill set, calling him a super talent with a real shot at overcoming the weight disparity. Arum recognizes that size could play a major role, but insists that Crawford's superior boxing ability gives him a legitimate chance to win.
It's a big difference in weight, Canelo and Terence, but if any fighter has a chance with Canelo, it's Terence.
Fans and analysts are divided on the upcoming Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight. Some believe Crawford's speed and skill could pose a serious challenge to Canelo, while others agree with Eddie Hearn that the size difference will be the deciding factor. Bob Arum, however, has made a bold statement regarding the matchup. While he acknowledges the significant size difference, Arum isn't dismissing Crawford's chances. The veteran promoter, who has worked with Crawford in the past, praised his skill set, calling him a super talent with a real shot at overcoming the weight disparity. Arum recognizes that size could play a major role, but insists that Crawford's superior boxing ability gives him a legitimate chance to win.
It's very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence, because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's giving away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight. So that matters.
Arum acknowledges the risks Crawford faces in moving up to fight someone as physically dominant as Canelo. It's a massive challenge that could influence the fight's outcome. However, Arum believes Crawford's mindset and exceptional ability give him the chance to pull off something truly special.
This is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter, but he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence.
If this fight happens, it will be more than just size versus skill. It will test whether Crawford's boxing IQ can overcome Canelo's raw power. Sean Porter, who has faced Crawford in the ring, believes Crawford's adaptability will be crucial against Canelo. While Porter acknowledged that Crawford can be methodical and patient, he also pointed out that in some fights, Crawford has focused on a specific strategy rather than making adjustments during the bout.
That kind of guy where he's patient enough, he knows what he needs to do. But if he prepares for one thing, he comes to the ring and do something different, that I know what it was that night. That night he knew he had to impress. And he knew that, if he knows Terence's style, he's trying to line up that straight left, you know. And he got to a point where that became, I gotta have this firework.
While many are skeptical about the matchup due to the weight difference, Roy Jones Jr. sees a real path to victory for Crawford. He believes that if Canelo makes even the slightest mistake, Crawford's skills could capitalize and turn the fight in his favor. For Jones, the key to the fight is how Canelo approaches it. He emphasized that if Canelo becomes too aggressive or strays from his game plan, Crawford could make him pay.
It's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one increment of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's a little tougher. So right now, I think it will be either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo.
Roy Jones Jr. doubled down on his thoughts regarding the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, making it clear that size isn't the biggest factor in this fight, it's strategy. As a former multi-division champion, Jones understands the challenges of moving up in weight to compete against larger opponents. He stated that if Canelo sticks to his game plan and fights smart, he'll win. But if he deviates from it, Crawford could take advantage and win the fight. Jones didn't just analyze the matchup, he also offered valuable advice to Crawford. Known for his own exceptional ring IQ, Jones believes controlling the center of the ring will be key to Crawford's success. He said, if Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan, while not questioning Crawford's talent, has raised concerns about whether Crawford can handle Canelo's sheer size and power. As one of the most respected voices in combat sports, Rogan acknowledges Crawford's skills, but recognizes that moving up in weight to face a fighter as strong and experienced as Canelo is a significant challenge.
Yes, he's gonna fight Canelo. Oh, man. I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, I believe all the he be talking.
Crawford, yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him, because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago.
Many fans and analysts share the same doubt. Can Crawford, who has dominated smaller opponents, handle the relentless power of a true super middleweight like Canelo? Despite the size disadvantage, Rogan made it clear that Crawford's skill level is among the best in boxing. He highlighted Crawford's ability to switch stances effortlessly, a rare trait at an elite level. This unpredictability, combined with his sharp fight IQ, makes Crawford a dangerous opponent for anyone. Rogan believes that if Crawford can use his movement and timing to control the fight, he has a real chance. However, against a powerhouse like Canelo, the margin for error is razor thin.
I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up Like, you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up. You know?
That's super accurate.
Oh,
Like,
just knows so much about boxing, about where to be and what's coming.
Brian Bomack, McIntyre fired back at critics who downplayed Terence Crawford's resume, emphasizing that Crawford's dominance makes his opponents seem less impressive. His point was simple. Crawford's skill level is so high that he dismantles top fighters with ease, making them appear average. This mirrors the debate over whether Crawford can handle the weight jump against Canelo Alvarez. While some doubt Crawford's ability to compete at super middleweight, McIntyre sees no reason why this fight should be any different.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or no, everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, they was something until Crawford fought. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Brian Bomack, McIntyre doubled down on Crawford's mentality heading into the Canelo fight, emphasizing that Crawford isn't asking for any special conditions. He just wants to prove he's the best. McIntyre explained that Crawford's goal is clear: to show the world that he's the best. So why add stipulations when he's confident in his abilities? He expressed a desire for the challenge, saying, "Let's test ourselves." Switching to another highly debated matchup, the tension between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach continues to grow. Their fight has sparked considerable discussion, with some questioning whether it's a worthy matchup. The animosity between Davis and Roach has been escalating, with several heated confrontations, even leading to physical altercations. However, despite the intensity of their clashes, Roach made it clear that there is still a level of respect between them, despite the ongoing tension.
There's a level of respect. Like I said, it ain't no beef or nothing like that. Like, he normally got issues with everybody he fight, or for the most part, or like he on his antics, or he basically bullying somebody. So, you know, that shit ain't gonna happen over here. But it's like it's mutual. It's a mutual ground of respect for sure.
Lamont Roach emphasized his focus and determination, making it clear that the back and forth with Gervonta Davis won't distract him from his ultimate goal: winning. Unfazed by the mind games and physical confrontations leading up to the bout, Roach isn't just looking to make a statement, he's coming to win. He's made it clear that he's willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen.
Out to be the best. I can't let that get in the way of what I'm set out to do. And it's competition. It's competition, and it can only be one winner. It can't be two winners. It can only be one winner. So it's either gonna be you or me, and I'm gonna get you.
Lamont Roach didn't just talk about winning, he promised an unforgettable fight. Confident in the matchup, he made it clear that fans are in for something special when he steps into the ring with Gervonta Davis. Roach declared, "It's going to be the fight of the year. I'm telling you, it's definitely going to be a spectacle." With all the animosity, back and forth exchanges, and intense build-up, Roach believes this fight won't just be another bout, it will be one of the most exciting showdowns of the year. Now, the question remains, can he back up his words when the bell rings? Roach also broke down his approach to the fight, making it clear he's not just showing up, he's coming with a strategy to test Davis like never before.
You gotta go in there knowing that, you know what I'm saying, like, you ready. And then my thing is, we're gonna see how he reacts if he get hit with this punch, especially a clean one.
Lamont Roach Jr. isn't just another name on Gervonta Davis's hit list. He's entering with a plan, confidence, and a skill set that could make this fight far more competitive than many expect. Cole Fox believes this will be a true chess match, not just another showcase of Tank's power.
Yeah, definitely gonna be competitive. The thing about both fighters, Tank and Lamont, they're both very impressive boxers. A lot of people forget that just because, you know, Tank is also, you know, a big puncher, but you know, this is gonna be chess. It's gonna be both guys trying to one up each other a bunch of times.
Fox sees Lamont Roach as a fighter who brings something unique to the table. While Gervonta Davis is known for his knockout power, Roach's boxing IQ, defense, and composure could create problems Davis hasn't faced before. Fox explained that Roach's athleticism and reactive style will shine in the fight, noting his top-notch defense and ability to counter effectively when punches come back at him.
Tank had the equalizer, but the biggest difference in, I feel, in Hunt versus Tank's other opponents, we all know Tank a different way than everybody he's fought against previously.
Fox compared Lamont Roach to Gervonta Davis's past opponents, noting that while Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin had their moments, they lacked the complete skill set Roach possesses. Fox emphasized that Roach is a smarter, more calculated fighter, adding, "I think people are sleeping on how good that he really is."
Based on skill, I think it's definitely going to challenge Tank more than some of the other fighters. Ryan, he had a big punch, but Ryan to me has never been an overly impressive boxer. Very good punch, very big puncher. You can't deny that. But as far as Frank Martin, he was a good boxer himself, but I think he kind of danced himself out.
The stage is set for a high-stakes battle, and if Lamont Roach can execute his game plan, he might just make things interesting. However, with Tank's fight-ending power, the margin for error is razor-thin. Meanwhile, the rivalry between Beterbiev and Bivol has sparked controversy, with many professionals rejecting the scorecards from their previous bouts. Amid all the chaos, a trilogy between the two is now being demanded. In the world of boxing, the drama never stops, and the thrill is never ending.
Deserve it, and we want to see the third.
We'll see the third fight now.
Yeah.
Do you think Dimitri Bivol had done enough tonight?
Yeah, if Artur accepts, we will have it.
Turki Alec has announced that a trilogy between Beterbiev and Bivol might happen if both fighters agree and have the time. On Ariel Helwani's show, Jim Lampley discussed the potential aftermath of Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, suggesting the winner could face David Benavidez. While many anticipate a possible rematch or trilogy between Canelo and Crawford, Lampley cautioned that nothing is guaranteed and the future remains uncertain.
It's fair to go to a Benavidez fight rather than, not all trilogies have to take place 1, 2, 3.
Right.
In consecutive order. And these two guys have given a great deal of themselves and shown their commitment in fighting the two fights that they've fought against each other. If either one of them wants to, divert his attention to another fight and engage in another enterprise, I strongly support that. They need to have the right to govern their careers the way they want.
Lampley explained that despite the hype, neither fighter can be forced into a rematch if they feel they've settled things. However, fan and promoter demand could still push for another fight, even if the fighters are ready to move on.
I was trading observations in a phone call with a very dear friend of mine who's a great screenwriter and an avid and devoted boxing fan. And his comment was, I want to see Benavidez now.
Yeah.
This is the moment for me to see Bivol against Benavidez.
Lampley's comments reflected boxing's unpredictable nature. While some rivalries end after 1 or 2 fights, others take on a life of their own, especially with strong demand. Whether it's a fight with Benavidez next or a historic trilogy, the direction of both fighters' careers will ultimately depend on how the first fight unfolds.
Even better be up against Benavidez. Whichever fight can be made and should be made, let's go forward to that one. And I understood his thought process and can certainly identify with that. But if we're going to go to the third fight between Beterbiev and Bivol, I'm ready for that.
While Bivol is celebrating his win and regaining his title, there's a somber atmosphere in the Beterbiev camp. Mark Ramsey reflected on the intense preparation leading up to the fight, acknowledging the effort that went into the training camp. He emphasized the hard work and dedication put into preparing for this moment, noting the sacrifices made in the gym. While the result wasn't what they had hoped for, Ramsey made it clear that boxing moves on, and there are always lessons to be learned from every fight. He stated, "It's a lot of deception, a big work behind the scenes with more than 12 weeks of hard work in the gym. The conclusion of the fight isn't what we wanted, but at the end of the day, nobody's dead." In other news, Hamza Shiraz faced a major setback, drawing with WBA middleweight champion Carlos Adames. Journalist Thomas Hauer revealed that Shiraz's underwhelming performance upset many plans, as this fight was viewed as a stepping stone toward a potential showdown with the Mexican superstar. Shiraz's disappointing draw left fans and analysts questioning his readiness for bigger challenges, as the fight was seen as an opportunity for him to prove himself as a legitimate contender.
Yeah, I'm an overachiever, you know what I mean? I'm an overachiever. I'm very blessed. But yeah, we'll go back to the drawing board with Ricky and we'll fix our errors.
I mean, it could have gone either way, you know, close fight it was.
Despite claims from Hamza Shiraz's team of a hand injury, Adames dominated from the opening bell. Many believe Shiraz's management had picked Adames as the weakest link among the middleweight champions, but the fight proved otherwise. Adames outworked and pressured Shiraz throughout, making him uncomfortable. Fans had expected Shiraz to make a statement, but instead, he struggled, leading some to question if he was truly ready for the spotlight. While Shiraz acknowledged the possible hand injury, he stated, "No excuses. I've got Andrew, but that's got nothing to do with the outcome of the fight." Former world champion Amir Khan also weighed in on Shiraz's controversial draw against Adames, expressing disappointment in the result. Khan had expected Shiraz to make a statement, but felt his performance fell short, failing to prove he belongs at the elite level. This underwhelming result has left many wondering if Shiraz is ready for bigger challenges in the middleweight division.
You know, there might have been a hand injury there. Yeah, no excuses. I've got a hand injury, but listen, that's got nothing to do with the outcome of the fight. Commiserations. No worries.
It's fair to call it a draw? I mean, a lot of people are going to say Adames did a lot more, threw a lot more punches and stuff, but look, it was a close fight anyway, so however, the judges know better, you know.
Do you have any advice for Hamza?
Yeah, I mean, they go back in the gym and train hard again and come back stronger.
Awesome.
Amir Khan acknowledged Hamza Shiraz's talent, but questioned if he was truly ready for top-level competition. He noted that Adames controlled much of the fight, applying constant pressure and making Shiraz uncomfortable at key moments. While the draw saved Shiraz from a loss, Khan hinted that the performance did little to boost his credibility, especially with talks of a potential future showdown with Canelo Alvarez.